is officially go time.
It is officially go time. Hopefully in this video we're going to get this thing turned on. We're going to plug it in to this computer machine, and apparently we can do some pretty fancy tricks. Dylan's already done it. There's a couple little wiring things we need to do. We need to wire in the fuel pump.
We have to do a little pigtail harness that goes from my ignition coil, and then that's literally everything that needs to be done before this car can run. It will run this episode. I'm pretty confident of that. The car is essentially done in terms of what it needs to run. There's some, you know, buttoning up. There's nothing hanging down. There's no wires. They're actually where they're meant to be.
Yeah.
I plugged in my fuse and relay box. This fuse box runs my alternator. It tells the alternator to be like charging. Has the relay to switch my fan on and my fuel pump on, and that comes from the ECU. It also powers the ECU with the ignition, and it also powers the injectors on ignition as well. We need a harness that goes from here to these two plugs here.
A lot of people are probably thinking that this has taken forever and that we suck. Like, there's been a few people that have been like, oh, you know, back when I was 18.
I'm looking at you, Jacob.
I had a...
Jacob Peck.
We love you. We love Jacob. He makes stuff for us.
Please send sticker. If you are just, you know, recently subscribed, or you've just watched the last couple of videos or what have you, this has been a mammoth task for me. I've been doing this for 8 months now. So
insert photo of how burnt it was.
Yeah, the before and after is crazy.
Yeah, it's hectic. All right, let's turn this thing on.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right now. Is it?
Yeah. There's my TPS.
Dude, you can't even hit 100% throttle.
Okay.
To get muscles. Oh, nice. We just had Seb remotely access my computer. He knows much more about wiring an ECU than us. Someone commented saying Seb just being a scholar in the background. Now he's just like digitally doing so. Seb kind of ran through everything. We've got Dylan's engine temp sensor set up and the intake air temp. And now we can test our fan.
Oh shit, it's going.
Turn it off.
How cool is that?
We're new to all of this. A lot of people are probably like, yeah, no shit, idiot. But this is, I never thought we would have an aftermarket ECU on any of our cars. We're always like aiming for the very simple thing. So I don't know.
Yeah,
this is
really, really cool.
This is like space age to us. So
yeah. And
it's just sick that I can just sit here and plug my laptop in.
Yeah. Yeah. Soon it's gonna be like
well, it's a hole.
It's not a particularly pretty hole. And then bolt a piece of metal in there.
Yeah, and as long as you shape the other piece of metal,
yeah,
it'll be pretty.
It'll look alright, and I can still clean this up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it means that I can pull out my fuel pump without taking the tank out.
Because this is how an EFI car would have been designed.
Yeah. Thankfully my hideous hole in the floor has made it easier to wire this up and actually shown how close this gets to the boot floor.
Yeah, that's why it was difficult for us to put it into my car kind of at the end there, because we don't usually have this set up, obviously.
Although there is this right here very conveniently exactly in the spot where that goes. So that's actually, that's crazy neat. Like,
that is weird.
We never would have realized that that was that close, and that's why it fits. But I've got this harness going to here. I'm just going to get a wire coming from my
fuse and relay box at the front.
Yeah, so that's just going to have to go along the sill there, and then we just need to do the
dongle at the front,
dongle at the ignition, and then
charge strap,
put some fuel in it, and then we can try and start it.
Dude, hell yeah, let's get to it.
Oh, and the charge strap. I mean, we don't need the charge strap. Well, we've got our harness on there, we've got it. We reckon dizzy times, got my charge strap on, goes to here. We've just put fuel in there, Seb's in here, trying to program the triggers and stuff. With all that in check, it's just a matter of getting on the computer, setting it all up, and then we can try crank it.
So we've run into our first speed bump. We've got fuel leaking from the back of the car here. We primed the fuel pump with my computer, or Seb did, and you can see how shiny it is on the ground here. The fuel pump works, but this is not ideal. Ready?
Yeah.
Alright, start.
Yeah. Yeah, it's working.
I don't think you need a screwdriver for that one.
Alright, injector 2.
Yep.
Injector 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you gonna crank it?
Just give me a sec.
Dude, I'm
Dude, I'm shitting. Is there like a fuel map in it at all? Like, will it start?
Yeah, it should start.
Does it have like a 4AG map or just a standard map?
Standard map.
Dylan the deity.
Go. What?
Battery number 3. The other one had 9 volts as opposed to 11.
I didn't get a light.
You want me to go again?
Yeah.
Battery number 4.
This one's Chad as.
This one's the Chad battery. Stop.
There's a little bit of magic smoke coming out, but I think it's because there's water.
You reckon?
It like barely ever splashed.
Don't know where timing is. So the light's not flashing at all.
Nah, it flashed like a couple times. Yeah, it's literally doing nothing.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Alright, so we had issues with the timing, like jumping around. It was going from like 10 degrees to like negative 30 or 40, but kind of consistently, like it wasn't erratic. It would stay in one place and then go to the other. And we're kind of out of batteries, almost. So I think we need to rest tonight because it's like dinner time and it's freezing cold and it's kind of raining, and hopefully we can attack it either during the week or next weekend and we'll get this thing to work.
Well, what you just saw then was my car running midweek. Seb just came out to my car like after I finished work. We're working from home, obviously. We're in isolation down here, so...
Yeah, and I didn't have my car, so I couldn't come and watch. I couldn't enjoy it. So I haven't seen it turn on yet.
Yeah, it was actually crazy, like, seeing it run for the first time.
Dylan's significantly more relaxed. I can tell.
Yeah.
Like, he was really stressed on Sunday.
It's been a relief. I've been really worried that my wiring's not right, but basically the reason we couldn't get it in time before was the trigger threshold for the voltage on the trigger wheel was too high, so it wasn't reading triggers, but Seb amended that and he was able to get it to read the trigger wheels and put it in time, and so now we can put it in time. Main issue is we actually can't get it to read the correct temperature for cold start.
Engine temperature, yeah. So the temp sensor in there at the moment goes down to 40 degrees, but 40 degrees is not cold enough for any cold start to be running from the ECU whatsoever.
Yeah. So it thinks it's at 40 degrees and it's like, well, I don't need to do any cold start at all.
Yeah,
but
which it really, really does.
Yeah.
The other issue...
Oh, my wideband sensor is cactus, we reckon. So we're not reading any oxygen content.
Which sucks.
The gauge isn't sensing a sensor there. It's like searching for a sensor and it can't find it. So
we assume that got burnt, shall we say?
Toasted. So we're gonna have to put a new wideband oxygen sensor in it at best, or a whole new gauge setup at worst, because that's like $450.
Yeah, that's gonna suck. But it turns on. So
it does turn on.
Show me the magic, dude.
So I just rummaged through my parts bin and found this Toyota coolant temp sensor. It came on the original 4AG in the back of the head. I just went and got a plug for it, so this is what's going to run my ECU. I'll still have my temp sensor going to my gauge so I can see when it's at the right temperature to rip it, but this will tell the ECU what temperature it is so it can do cold starts and all that stuff. my little pigtail harness that's going to go into my ECU harness. Time-lapse it so you can see how to make a harness look like this. Pretty easy actually, you just have to have the right stuff. Now I'm going to just take that harness out partially so I can integrate it into there and we can have a temp sensor.
This is all plugged in back here behind the head. There's a bit of action happening back here. Yeah, it's not pretty, but
It's working.
it should work. Now we should be able to hopefully, maybe, get a cold start running on this and get the injectors firing properly so that we can turn it on healthily. I didn't see how it turned on last time, but
It turned
from
on
what I'm
alright. My starter sounds like it's about to eat its own asshole. It
Damn.
just does this little like after it stops.
Do you wanna
What?
do
Do you want to do that again? What?
It's amazing.
Oh my god, man.
Dude, I can't believe it.
How cool is it? It's so good hearing it run and also terrifying.
So Seb's currently in the process of, I think, trying to get a cold start for this.
Just
but
get it to be able to start.
yeah, more efficiently than it did before.
Yeah.
So before it runs anymore, we realise there's no water in it. Yeah, the starter does sound like it wants to die.
Yeah.
It smells like go-karts.
It does a little. That's actually so good.
Oh my god, dude. It sounds like happy as.
I don't think I just need to real quick.
Yeah, I don't think so, man.
That sounds sick.
No more.
No more?
Oh, that sounds so good.
Why not? I do the pedal.
Good job, Seb.
You're a genius, Seb.
Hacker man Seb. So Seb's actually loaded in a base map that he's found online. I don't think it's like completely correct or completely accurate. He's been tweaking it a little bit since he's put it in. But it's way happier now. The throttle is really responsive. We can like give it a bit of a rev and it won't die. It'll still idle. The timing is set to where Seb's happy with it. Seb, do you want to show us how nice and happy it is? So Seb set the timing to a point where he's happy for Dylan to try and drive it.
What?
You stoked?
I'm stoked. I'm so excited.
Stoked and scared. And
I'm so
everything.
excited.
Let's do it.
Oh, I've never turned it on actually. Oh my god.
Here it is. A big smile.
Oh my god, the throttle is so responsive. What the hell? Dude.
Just take it easy.
Let's do it.
Under its own power.
Wait. Yeah, boy. Holy shit.
Alright, we're in car. I'm driving my car. It appears to still drive straight, which is nice. It sounds like smooth and nice. My throttle is so
Dude,
light.
you've got the throttle whistle. Oh, it sounds so good. so keen, bro. It actually feels like, it feels better tuned than my carbs ever were already, and it's like literally just got a bass map on. Oh, dude. This is actually happening. This is insane. I can't believe that it just works. Did you know you were going to be able to do this, Seb?
What?
Did you know you were going to be able to get it running like this?
Yeah.
You madman. This man's just been keeping secrets.
Like, it's not difficult. It's more so like getting it dialed is the hard.
Yeah, right. To me, this whole thing's difficult. This is I can't believe it. Oh, we just hit the floor. Old memories rushing back.
Something definitely hit the floor.
Oh, dude.
It looks so terror.
Alright, well, that is it. That's the we drove it. We weren't expecting that at all.
Yeah, we just thought we were going to turn it on in this vid, and then we were going to kind of work towards driving it. Seb kind of told us that he expected that it was going to drive, but he's a very quiet boy.
Yeah, he keeps his heart cards close to his chest.
So we didn't know it was going to drive, but
Yeah.
it did. And I don't know if there's much else to say, dude.
It rides really well. Like, it's really good.
It feels amazing. It sounds incredible.
It feels like no time's passed since I last drove it, to be honest. It just feels natural.
Feels like home again.
Oh, it does feel like home again.
It feels very natural for me to be in the passenger seat
Yeah.
with you driving the way you drive.
Just look at it. Just look at it. It's not in my street or in my driveway. It's here in the wild. It's got no scuttle panel on it. The guards are barely bolted
Dude, it
to
looks
it.
sick.
Yeah,
It looks so cool.
Oh, I'm so stoked. Anyway, thank you heaps for watching. Thanks for watching the whole build series. If you did, if you just watched this episode, this car set on fire 9 months ago.
And now it's not on fire. Now it's wicked. And now it's time for the fun stuff.
Yeah, now we get to drive together.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Dude.
yeah, we do, but it's COVID-19
But, like,
things. Yeah.
Even just 2 Corollas together, we
my
haven't
God.
had for like 4 or 5 years. Me and
get
Dylan have
to-
been dying to do this.
Yeah, and we get to shoot
Absolutely.
photos of them together. We've been just posting photos of Matt's car because we got sick of taking photos of my car in my driveway. But I'm
I
blown
can't
away.
believe it.
All right, thank you so much for
Thank
watching.
you all.
All the best. Bye.
Bye.